This is a demonstration of doing squash stretch with shape keys. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my basic cube that defaults to the system. Let's move it up. So G and Z, G and then Z. And then we're going to check our summary, which currently has nothing happening with the block. So let's turn on the auto key so that we can add that to our timeline. We've got a basic, everything's ready. So let's move it down a little bit. I'm going to hit G and Z just a little bit. Well, let's see what our camera is showing over here. That's always nice to know. Okay, currently the cube is not in the view, so let's change the view and change the output. Let's make it portrait instead of landscape. So change this to 1080 and then 1920. Let's go ahead and just make this a standard 24 frames, so this will just happen in 1 second. So now we have the very top of the cube at the very top there. If we wanted to do a few more fancy things to the object, we could. We could add a material to it. Base color currently is white, so let's give it some, let's make it more interesting. There we go. And show that. Now you can see that that is happening inside this. So that's what it'll render as, is that orange color. Okay, and so let's get that set up. Currently, our object has just the XYZ position of the cube in the system. Now I do want it to go ahead and set up the scaling on frame 1. So I'm going to hit the S key and just change it a smidge, and now you can see it is also showing the XYZ. Now this is shape keying. We could also do this with an armature for doing squash stretch, but for right now I just want to keep this real simple. So let's jump over 6 frames, hit G and Z, bring it down a little bit below, and then we'll scale it on the Z axis. So S and Z, pull it in a little bit. There we go. And now we can see, because of auto interpolation, we can, it is automatically squashing the cube. So let's jump over here maybe to 11. We're not going to have it go back up quite as far. So G, Z, have it go back up and scale it again on the Z axis back to its original shape. And there we go. And now all we've done so far is a squash. We haven't done a stretch. Scale this back down, or move this back down. So G and Z, move it back down, scale on the Z axis so it squashes again. It won't squash quite as much because we're losing some momentum. Now let's go back here to around frame 4 and maybe frame 3. We want to show a little bit of stretch as it's falling, showing some speed. So let's scale it, and let's scale on the x-axis and scale it on the y-axis. So X and SY. There we go. And we'll want to set it back to its original X and Y at when we get to frame 6. So let's take a look at it, at our object. So there we're showing our scale. That's good to see. So we're going to want to restore at frame 6 the X and the Y axis back to 1. So there it's fully scaled back out. And then as we're stretching back up, probably right about there, again we're going to want to change the scale. So let's drop that down to maybe 0.8 and 0.8. There we go. and then as we get back up to its full height, we store it to 1, 1, 1. There we go. And now, what I want you to do is go ahead and complete it for the rest of the frames. By the frame 24, it should come completely to rest and no longer be bouncing. When you are done, we can go to render, well, we got to set it up first. By default, it's not set up, so let's go to our output, change that to that we want it to do a video, and change the encoding to MP4. There we go. And now, when we go to render animation, it'll go through and do the full render for us. Now, I've not done all of it. I want you to finish the project. Go for it.